Hello, everybody. We're live on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube. How's the top hat working out? This whole thing, it's a hook. It's to get you to listen. It's to get you to stop scrolling. It's also really uncomfortable, so I'm going to take it off soon. But when you're scrolling through, you see a guy in a top hat. Hopefully you stop and stay a while because we're going to talk about crypto. Why is it pumping? Why is crypto pumping? Let's do a screen share. Here we've got... We've got good old PulseChain. In the last week is up 22%. HEX is up 39%. PulseX up 19%. INC is up almost 30%. Why? Why are they up? How mysterious. Everybody's pretty tired of the bear market. I get it. I'm taking this hat off too. Oh, brutal hat. Hello. Thanks for the like, Matthew Wojcik over on Facebook. Everybody tickle that like button. Follow. Help me help you pump all of our bags here. We're investing in PulseChain because we know it's got a lot of potential, but man, the prices have been wrecked. 40% of all altcoins, by the way. Altcoins meaning not Bitcoin. Ethereum is down 50%, and 40% of all altcoins are near their all-time low. It's really bad, guys. It's been a tough, brutal bear market. 6 months of red, followed by 1 week so far of green. So 1 week in March, right before the midterms. Historically, before midterm elections in that March on the first week, crypto has always pumped, I think, like every single time, if I'm not mistaken, every time. Good to see you, Juan and E 6388. You guys can message me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'll see all those comments. I might not see them on TikTok, but I'll try to head over and check out the TikTok chat every now and then. If you got questions, let me know. Why is PulseChain pumping? Well, a lot of things are pumping, but it's only in the very short term. Unfortunately, if you zoom out, we're still down a ton, which to some people is a buying opportunity. That's what that means to certain individuals. Let me just make sure everything is good and live. Refresh that page over here. And I'll get to your questions in the chat in just a minute, everybody. Good, the thumbnail worked. Bitcoin's going to 48,000, you say. Not buying yet. All right, you know, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying it might just be a relief rally. Who knows? Right? Who knows? But what if it's not? So DCA is the way, long-term hold and dollar cost average. I did that for many years. Now I do it very intermittently, very sporadically. Haven't made a big DCA in quite a while. Everybody only wants to DCA when the numbers are going up. So careful trying to catch that perfect bottom. You know, if you buy a little bit on the way down, you don't have to time the exact bottom. You could buy some at 60K. Let's say we dip to 50. But maybe we never hit 48. Maybe it bounces off like 52. Well, you could have been buying those. Which if you have a long-term time horizon, it doesn't matter. People don't want to hear that because people have been getting wrecked. So if you've been holding for 4 years straight and you haven't seen any gains because you've been long-term holding, it's reasonable to say, hey, maybe this long-term holding thing doesn't work. But you need to zoom out longer than that. I know it sucks to hear. Longer than 4 years. This has been an abnormal cycle. Most crypto cycles are 4 years, pretty evenly spot on. This one's not. So it might be 5, might be 6, who knows? The game has changed, and the reason is because institutions are in. We've never had BlackRock in before. I'll tell you why it's different. Bitcoin's never topped before the halvening. You've never had ETFs. You've never had Bitcoin becoming a macro asset. Governments are now holding Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, the guy that owns the company MicroStrategy, he's the only guy that people are cheering around to buy Bitcoin because it's a heavy object to move. Meaning it's got so much liquidity that everybody understands inherently that altcoins have more potential to pump because they're lower liquidity, they're newer. But Bitcoin's the only thing that really did pump, and if you just got in, even if you bought Bitcoin at 40K and you rode it to 100 and now you're back down to 70K, that's pretty good compared to the stock market, but we're all in crypto because we know there's much more potential. Yo, Artie, good to see you, man. First green month incoming. Year of the horse has finally arrived. Good to see you. Buying silver. Wow, that's a bold claim, Jesus. Buying silver will gain more than crypto in the next 3 years. Gonna have to disagree with you there, but that's just my personal feeling. Crypto can explode in a couple of months and make every other asset look silly. And maybe, you know, if crypto's not for you, then there's plenty of other content out there to go watch. I know you're talking about silver because it's at an all-time high. It's easy to say that when gold and silver and stocks are near their all-time highs. Everybody only wants to cheer for the winners, guys. They don't want to buy low, sell high when something's got asymmetric opportunity. That's what I believe PulseChain has. And that's what I believe HEX and PulseX, they're all tied together, right? You got a billionaire founder, beat the SEC, getting dropped off his Interpol charges. It's all good to see. The community is fanatic, not stopping, relentless, persistent. And of course, the technology is actually decentralized, so I feel pretty good about standing behind tech that can't be government censored, can't be taken down. Jesus is really sure of himself. Okay, good luck, buddy. Good luck to you. I want everybody to win. But I'd be DCAing in crypto. If I was starting, like, if I had $0, I would still go all the way back into crypto. Starting with probably Ethereum, then PulseChain. If you want to, I mean, I understand other altcoins, different narratives. But man, people do not understand the potential here. Kevin Hawthorne, and that's a good thing. Like, why would you want them to understand? By the time everyone understands, they're going to be asking how to buy in 20x higher. I don't know if silver is going to do a 20x, man. Hex says, nice cup there in the background. Oh, you see that cup? The tears of Hex haters, good sir. The tears of Hex haters. Let's see. Who do we get to block on the old Twitters? Dun, dun. Isn't it just lovely to block people? Where's my chat? Ah, the dude with 6 followers. Pathetic little loser. Let's see here. Anybody got anything decent to ask? Let's take a look at the news, shall we? The crypto news. Bitcoin hit $73,000. Ben Cohen is still defending his bear market call. Look, it could just be a relief rally. We don't know. PulseChain token surge as ecosystem shows resilience. There was this girl, Jana Crypto Queen, that said, you know, she's got 200,000 followers and she just discovered PulseChain for the first time. Brazilian, Australian chick, I guess, made a really good thread today. 32,000 views, impressions, 1,000 likes. Getting a lot of attention over there. Panos wrote a very well-rounded article. The SEC tried to take him down. They failed. Crypto Coffee, what's up? What's up, Marcus Roth? Sally says, I'll hold PulseChain for me. Pesha says, who cares about 5 years? Just take 5555. Great. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Do we have moderators in the chat? Go make sure we do. But yeah, guys, what else? What's up? What's up, Mark? Oh, no. Yep. You can feel something happening. They say nothing ever happens in crypto, but eventually something will happen. So I want to be positioned before that time. Yeah, waiting sucks, but you got to wait longer. Costa says, I love Hex. Thank you, Costa. Very good, very good. PulseChain is now showing on coin ranking sites. Something's been set in motion. Yeah, you've got Wrapped Pulse coming up at page 3. Let's see. Yeah. Pulse is up 13%. INC is up 16%. Hex up 20%. I'll follow you back, good sir. So, Provex, guys. The Provex tokens might have been distributed on the testnet. It's not really a huge deal, but if you want to see how many tokens you would have when it actually goes live, your Provex tokens, I think, were allocated on the testnet. They're not real. They have no value. Don't fall for scammers. I'm not going to reach out and DM you first, ever. People are probably trying to pretend like these testnet tokens are real tokens. Probably scammers everywhere. But I think they were testing out the distribution of Provex tokens. For people that don't know, that's a new project. Provex.com or Provex.com, yeah. App.provex.com if you want to check that out. Let's see. There we go. Got to get the screen view back. app.provex.com. PulseChain hope, not pump. Yeah, a little hope. You call this a PulseChain pump? I do, sir. I call it a 20% pump in the week. You can look at the chart. So here we go. The risk disclosure currently in beta. Accept all the risks. You can test out Provex if you want to. You don't have to, but this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to be able to buy crypto with Venmo, Wise, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, all these different things that people already have. Revolut and Wise are big in other countries. And the whole goal of this Provex thing is to bypass centralized exchanges, which is pretty cool. So people put in some money for this project. It's going to have a token. The token's a buy and burn coin. Mark Rastelli says, what happened to the HEX staking APR? Wondering if it'll come back. Good question, Mark. So the HEX staking APR basically went down because maybe like 6 or 8 months ago, the origin address made some really large stakes. The reasoning behind that was probably to lower the yield for HEX stakers that were dumping on short-term stakes like every week or every month. Get rid of sell pressure, basically. Now we're going to have to wait and see every November. I think it's every November. These origin address stakes were huge, and they were made like once per year for the next 10 years. So that lowered the APY across the board. Now you get reasonable APYs, but they're not crazy like 20, 30% anymore. They're more like 3, 4, 5%, you know? So you still get traditional stuff that would sound normal to a TradFi bro. And it's of course paid in the form of more HEX. But when these stakes come out, we're going to have to see if the origin address restakes them. If he does, then the APY is going to stay pretty much the same, maybe a little bit higher. But you could look at these days, like if they don't restake, they could ratchet up the APY rate at that time. Is Rat gone now? I don't know. I hear there's about $4 million left, but people focus so much on like the sellers. $4 million of sell pressure when you realize how many millionaires there are in the world. There's so many millionaires in the world. All you got to do is go out and reach those people and offset all that stuff. All it takes is a couple millionaires to really start pumping this chain. And they're out there. Probably a lot of them watching and waiting. Probably one in particular who might be a billionaire, if you know what I mean. So Dubai on high fear war. Yeah, there's a conference in Dubai, Token 2049. I don't know about that one, guys. Everybody, I hope everyone's staying safe and being careful out there. Because Dubai, man, they bombed a hotel, I think. It's not good. Provex launching from zero with no expectations, but the first week should be interesting to watch in terms of the price, along with LPs on PulseX. Yeah, thoughts? I agree. It's going to be interesting to see Provex potentially with liquidity pools on Ethereum or Solana or other major chains, because it's exposure. It's like advertising over on a different chain. Obviously, I expect most of the liquidity will be on PulseChain itself, but there's probably going to be a decent sized liquidity pool on Ethereum at least. I would guess. And anybody can put up liquidity, by the way, so wouldn't have to expect the origin address to do this. Probably going to be a dip right after launch, but it might not last long. Let's look at what happened with PulseChain, right? So with PulseChain, there was PulseChain doubled in the first 2 days, and then it just dumped because everybody wanted their short-term profits, which if it plays out the exact same way, you might get like a micro, really fast short-term pump if you're there on day one. Probably still going to be a dump. People are short-term thinkers. That's my guess, is you can't really shake that out of people. Every time there's a pre-sale and people got money up front and it becomes liquid, some portion of them wants to sell it immediately because they just wanted a quick flip. So I would still guess that there'd be a dump, but hey, if it's launching into market strength, then that dump will be more short-lived. None of these assets are on TradingView, so you can't take them seriously. Actually, they are. So first of all, that's wrong. First of all, sir, you're wrong in a couple different ways. They are on TradingView, and if they weren't, that would mean opportunity because you'd be getting in before they're on TradingView. Here we go. PulseChain. Right there on TradingView, buddy. PulseChain trebled. What does trebled mean? Like tripled? There's your PulseChain on TradingView. What's up, Coffee? Is the video you have pinned still the best way to purchase PLS? Not sure what video. Oh, yeah, the video I have pinned to my channel. There's all kinds of ways to purchase it. It depends if you want to pay higher fees and get it quick and dirty. You can go to buy-pulsechain.com. Buy-pulsechain. That's just like a referral link for, we have a credit debit card on-ramp, but you're going to pay like a 4% fee for that one. You can do Liberty Swap. So the cheapest route in so far that I've seen is you go buy USDC on Coinbase. And yes, if I remember correctly, yes, this is the video I have pinned on my channel. You go buy USDC on Coinbase, Kraken, whatever, withdraw it into your wallet. You can buy USDC. The reason I say Coinbase is because they have like 0 fees over on Coinbase. Once that's in your wallet, bridge it on libertyswap.finance, right on into PulseChain directly. It's a 2-step process. Starts with USDC, then you bridge it over into PLS. Amicable says, I don't get that pure auth remark on my screen. Well, that's because you probably already have the pure auth extension. So there's going to be an extension that you need to do the ZK handshake on Provex. It's called pure auth. You can get it now. There's already a company doing this. So pure.xyz. This is the tech stack that Provex is going to be based off of. They, I think, forked some of the contracts. And if you open this app, look at it. It's very similar, right, to what we think Provex is going to be. Buy crypto with Venmo, Cash App. You got new ones like Luxon. I've never actually heard of Luxon. Chime. All these ones, all these payment methods for your fintech app. And the Pure Auth extension, it's a Chrome extension. It just verifies that, you know, you made the Venmo payment or somebody else made the Venmo payment and you are selling them your stable coins or whatever you're doing. So amicable, you probably just already have that extension, I would say. Watch Professor Jang on Iran War, Major Game Theory Alpha. Yeah, the dark reality is that war can be good for money printing, right? For debasement of currency. Oil typically goes up. If sanctions are in place, that also does create demand for crypto. How much of, you know, there's a lot of Ukraine funded with Bitcoin. And probably all over the world, stuff like that is happening because you can't sanction crypto. There's no government censorship. Mick B. Herm says, let's go, #buy. Crypto Jack says, smash that like button and subscribe. Millionaires waiting to pounce on the markets. That's right, Hex Wizard. Hex Hound says, let the chasing begin. People love chasing. People love chasing. Coffee win headband. #ATL buying signal. Yeah, I don't have my headband on me. I actually have it in a drawer over there. Eugene says, thank you. Sure. Trouble me in 3x. Yeah, that's what I thought. Crypto 7, welcome. That must be the British way to say tripled. Buy-pulsechain.com. Not buy-pulsechain.com. My referral link for that has a hyphen. So you go to buy-pulsechain.com. People don't know this. We actually have like a credit debit card on-ramp. This is ramp now. All right. What you see on the screen here. And like if you did want to get in, I think the limits are a few $100s at a time. Let's wait till it loads and find out. 2,500. Oh, look. You can buy $2,500. What about 25,000? Yeah. Max amount is 3,481. So you can buy in chunks of 3,481, which today is 300 million pulse. It's quite a bit. And look, you buy here with your, what is it, USD, GBP. This works in other countries too. And your payment can be Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard. Again, you're paying like a 3 to 4% fee. So there's a lower fee way to buy out there, which is pinned, like that guy said, to my YouTube channel. Use libertyswap.finance. Let's take a look at Liberty Swap. This is libertyswap.finance. Pretty website. Look at these nice little swirly deals. So once you've got that USDC on, let's say the base network, whatever network you bought it on, maybe you bought USDC over on ETH, whatever. And let's say you had one Ethereum, or let's say you had 1,000 USDC rather, on the Ethereum network. You can go right directly into PLS on PulseChain. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Koska says, how about an off-ramp? These things are all off-ramps too, guys. You just off-ramp the same way. So Liberty Swap, if you want to go the reverse direction, right? You just You just go, I want to sell my PLS on PulseChain for WPLS on Ethereum. Or like if you're on ramp.io, rampnow.io, just click the sell button. You could sell PLS as well. There it is. Or you could just do it the old-fashioned way in Bridge using bridge.pulsechain.com. You could like sell your crypto for stable coins or Ethereum, bridge back out, and do all that. Amicable says Peacock token. That's right. Peacock, one of the best performing meme coins so far on PulseChain. One of my favorites. Check this chart out. I like this token because, you know, Liberty Swap, this bridge here. Notice how, look, they charge a 0.5% fee. Very small. You know, the user barely notices, but all the people bridging back and forth. Imagine all the arbitrage bots. Guys, once they enable 40 plus chains, like you can start pitching Liberty Swap as an arbitrage thing. Maybe traders will actually generate volume and take advantage. All that has to happen is like a couple, even if like, let's say $500 million of volume. That's conservative. Total goes through the bridge. People bridging both ways, right? 1% of that is 5 million. 0.5% of that is 2.5 million. Well, then these guys basically have $2.5 million of buy pressure into a liquidity pool that's only $180K. So the total liquidity is probably like, I don't know, 500K. So in a really, really tough year, total, all of their buying power could 5x the price. Conservative. That's why I like the coin, because they pump their own token using the platform fees. Look at this price chart. Versus PLS, it's just been going up and up and up. I don't know why we're on market cap. There we go. Yeah, very good looking chart here. Went from 60. Man, let's see how many X's this did versus Pulse. Let's say you bought it here. Did a 26x ROI in PLS terms. Now in USD terms, probably also a lot. Let's take a look. Looks like it really wants to break up out of this ascending wedge too, but yeah, 7x. 7x there. Koska says, nice. Hex Wizard says, I love that bird. Yeah, let the bird soar. You got to let him fly. What's up, Gregor369? Good to see all you guys, the survivors. But yeah, man, crypto's been a rough go. Crypto has been rough. Provex, though, testnet tokens, I'm not really going to talk about it. There's no need for me to do a tutorial. I don't want people to get confused about the Provex tokens. If they are real, we haven't actually heard anything from official channels. Like, I haven't heard any of the developers confirm that it's legit, even though it's just testnet tokens anyway. Like, it might be legit. They're testing. That's what testnets are for. But okay, you go see your little balance of valueless Provex PRVX tokens on PulseChain. That's great, but can't really do anything with it. And I just don't want to confuse people right now, because there's going to be a lot of scammers that try to take advantage of people that don't understand like what testnets are, and that Provex is not actually like the token's not actually out yet. The Clarity Act, guys, Trump has slammed the banks, the banking cartel in the USA, because they don't want the Clarity Act to go through, because they don't want other companies to give yield on their stablecoins, and they don't want competition. So Brian Armstrong is basically up in arms with all the bankers for this Clarity Act thing. But the SEC just submitted a proposal that could move crypto one step closer to the Clarity Act. It explains how securities laws apply to certain crypto assets. The Clarity Act would still be the best outcome, but this moves the industry forward for regulatory clarity, which means trillions of dollars in institutional capital aping in. 401ks are like over $100 trillion. Stocks are over $100 trillion. Crypto as an entire asset. What is crypto? Let's take a look. I'll get the exact number. Coin market cap. The entirety of crypto is something like, yeah, $2.4 trillion. This is so small. It's so small compared to all the money in the world, all the assets in the world, and houses. Like, real estate is very large. I don't know how many trillions are in real estate. I don't know if anybody accurately knows, but real estate's going to come on the blockchain. People are going to start trading fractionalized houses. Everything you can imagine is going to be traded on chains like Ethereum, which is going to generate demand for ETH, the underlying gas token. That's basically it's pretty simple. Thesis is not changed at all. It's just taking too long. People give up when things take a long time or when they're hard. But yeah, everyone's fighting with the banks right now. Eric Trump wants the Clarity Act to go through. Brian Armstrong obviously wants clarity. Elon Musk is talking about making X.com a financial app. So there's a lot of speculation too about maybe crypto is going to come to X. So can you imagine if people start paying people in crypto? I mean, they already accept crypto for, if you try to get a verified badge on X, they accept crypto today. Stablecoins, they do. So they're very aware. And we know Elon wants X to be the everything app. So that could be another catalyst. Funny story, guys. The FBI director just caught this kid out in St. Kitts stealing $40 million from the U.S. government, from the U.S. Marshal Service. So he was arrested today. This guy was the son of a contractor that was working for the U.S. government. So terribly poor security on the government's part. I don't know why they let some contractor control and custody over $40 million of crypto that his son then stole and then just got caught. So that's not good. It's not good for anybody involved. But look, you're not supposed to trust your private keys with other people. So even the government doesn't really know what they're doing. AI is going crazy. Everyone's obsessed with AI. What are you talking about X game for? I haven't even thought about that thing in a long time. I had my only thought on X game was that I thought it was going to bring in new money, which apparently it's failed to do so far. It was a gambling game that I was hoping this guy, has a lot of experience in gambling, but it's just tough to launch anything in this market. So yeah, X game just took a huge dump. I never actually owned any. It did pump a lot, but it was all internal PulseChain people. It's like X game, Trump coin, everything people are trying has just not been working to get new people into crypto. So again, it's a poker table. It's like a zero-sum game right now. Donald Trump's Memecoin didn't even get new people into crypto. Got like 1% of new people. Thanks for all the info you give no matter what the candle color. Crypto7 saw me. I've truly learned to DCA and understand what crypto is more. You guys are the best. Thank you, McDad McChuff. It's a funny name. I appreciate it, man. Happy to help. Can't wait to seriously pump. I'm going to throw a party and invite everyone that believed the whole time. X-Wizard, I want the invite to that party, sir. KD says, word up, rock and roll coffee. Crypto7 says, gonna try creatine. Guys, creatine is a very underlooked, very safe, very good supplement. One of the only ones that actually, you could feel it working. It's mental clarity too, not just muscle, but the muscle stuff is a nice add-on. By the way, guys, in my YouTube channel, we got these little limited edition seed word cards. If you look here, PulseChain seed words. If you want to keep your crypto safe and do it the right way, you got to write your seed words down. And what better to write them down on than this nice laser engraved PulseChain seed word card? See the back side here. It's got 24 spots. It's actually got 25 spots and a naming cell. So do whatever you want. With that, you can even add like a fake word. Make it like a Caesar cipher type of deal. If you know what that is. Anyway, write your seed words down and get one of these. And they come with a laser or with an engraving pen. This is a very sharp pen that you can engrave steel. And stainless steel is just a little bit better than paper because, well, obviously it's waterproof, fireproof. And it also comes with one of these stencils here too, so you can write your seed words down. And you only have to write the first 4 letters of each seed word if you get lazy. The first 4 letters are enough to know what the word is with absolute certainty. So get those if you want to keep your crypto safe. Don't end up like the US government. You guys are all doing better than the US government. And Mark Vroon, thank you for the like. Thought I turned Facebook like notifications off, but I appreciate it. What do you rarely about PTGC? What's up? PTGC just pumped. This has got a really large community. No one ever asks, bro. You're the first person on this stream to ask about the price. This one just pumped 2-3x. Yeah, it maybe tripled in a couple days. Might cool off a little bit. I think they announced some kind of referral program, so people are hyped on that. But as we can see, if we zoom out, all these charts, man, all these charts are just wrecked. But it did very well in 2024. PTGC did very well. And the UFO community, and they're still here. Those guys are all still here. So let's see. Yeah, this one went, man, during Memecoin mania season. I mean, this thing did like a 50x. One of the successful sub communities. It's, I don't know, tax token, alien themed. They got tokenomics and stuff for people that like complexity. And for people that don't, well, they got the guys like B-Roots always shill it. People with large followings. So, you know, things that pump on PulseChain that aren't scams, generally okay. I'm generally okay with it, even though I do miss out on some of them. But there you go, guys. PTGC. You already know you're invited, brother. Thanks, Hex Wizard. Cryptoad. That's a cool name. Cryptoad. What's up, man? Optimal Timeline says we're so back. Marcus Roth says, sorry, just made it back, but where can I get that for my seed phrase? Oh, if you want to buy these, I've got the link in my YouTube. Hop on over to my YouTube channel, open up the stream there, and then in the little tray below, there's a link to these little seed word cards. So, there you go. Pretty neat. Pretty affordable, too. I looked at the competitors, and they're actually cheaper than what the competitors are charging. Limited edition, too. I might do new designs in the future. This one's got a actual color laser etched card. You can get some for friends and family. Always good to be safe out there. PTGC and UFO is the go for me, y'all. Coffee, can we take a look at those two? I did very well on UFO token. I would like to thank whoever, I'm forgetting their name right now, but I was gifted some UFO token back in 2023 or so, 2024 maybe. It did very, very well, as you could see here. I took profit. I actually took profit, believe it or not. I almost never take enough profit when it's time. But here we go. This one did... Which one did better, UFO or PTGC? This one did like a 25x. UFO is more for incentivizing liquidity. They've got farms, UFO farms. Well, look, I don't know. If you think history is going to repeat itself, yeah, I could probably get another pump. Is it going to be as high as the first time pump? I don't know, because there's going to be new coins that pop up. There's going to be new players that enter the ecosystem. But it's definitely had a lot of hype lately. Man, it's so sad to zoom out on these charts, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, look at this double or triple in price. And you just zoom out and it's wrecked. But no, congrats to everybody keeping the dream alive here. Yeah, let's see. It just jumped 70% in the past week for UFO token. So there you go. Very nice pulse cards as Razlo's World. Freedom for you for life says, I'm rocking the seed word card. Nice. Oh, I'm glad it came. Yeah, I shipped out the very first ones like a week ago. Thanks all for the support. You are the first people to ever have the cards. Top Hat's holding up strong. Top Hat might just have a plan, everybody. Top Hat's looking like a stable coin these days. But yeah, it's holding up. This is the Peacock Top Hat. There's a lot of liquidity bonded to Peacock. And for the past, I don't know, 3 months, it's basically hovered right around the same. If you also want to join the LPX pools, check this out. lpx.plusx.app. This is the thing that not a lot of people know about. This is dynamic stablecoin liquidity injection. These guys have basically a trading bot. They call it dynamic liquidity, LPX, for any of the core tokens, but also you can do it for Top Hat. Look, you can make 14% APY on Top Hat just holding it because of all the back and forth arbitrage and the bot. But even on the core coins, like if you want to play around a little bit on HEX and DAI, look at that, 20% APY right there. And look, it's a risk, of course. I always have to disclaimer everything because, yes, it's unverified code because it's a proprietary algorithm. But it's been working for over a year now, making me consistent revenue. It also minimizes impermanent loss. When the price goes up, you actually don't lose as much. And it's another way to potentially get your coins away from the Pulse bonding, right? The part of the reason that, Top Hat, for example, stopped dipping so much compared to PLS. Of course, it dumped because people always pump and dump out every meme coin. People just ape into and then dump it. Might be more than a meme coin pretty soon, by the way. But what I was saying is that the fact that these are bonded to DAI means that you decouple them if PLS is going down. If people are selling through PLS, you can kind of isolate your coin's liquidity by tying it to a stable coin instead of tying it to the native token. Right? Like on Ethereum, most coins' liquidity is tied to ETH. But if you tie more of the liquidity to USDC, then if the price of ETH tanks, you're somewhat protected. That's the idea. I think even Richard Hart mentioned potentially experimenting. You could bridge in SDAI, which is a yield-bearing DAI, savings DAI. You could tie that to coins like HEX and further decouple. That might actually be the reason that HEX is up 40%, while Pulse is only up 22%. PulseX is only up 17% this week, but HEX is up double. So could it be because of there was a recent whale who bridged in like 100 grand or something, and he bonded HEX to USDC rather than bonding it to Pulse. Liquidity providing. It sounds complicated, but once you understand it, it's actually not that complicated. I've got plenty of videos about it. Sandy Beach, hello, what's up? Are we doing coin requests? Take a look at STM. What's up, Chaotic Studios? How you doing, Johnny? I feel like this one's going to be entertaining. Surgicaltrainers.com. Johnny basically made... Oh, wow, look at that. Good looking coin. STM is proof of participation. It's like a donation for surgical equipment. Limited edition collector's token that represents support of new medical innovations through the development of physical synthetic medical trainers. So this Johnny guy, folks, very interesting fellow. He does a lot of things, but he also sells surgical equipment that doubles as Halloween haunted house apparel. Unlike a donation, you receive a token that holds a base value of $1. Is it still $1? Yes, it is. So look, basically, so this looks like a chart that's going up, but if I minimize it, it basically went from $1.01 to $1.05. So what he's doing with the liquidity is he's basically trying to make it a stable coin. The money received from trading fees from the primary pool goes towards funding and development. The STM received back to the primary pool from those trading fees manually burnt, reducing the amount of STM tokens. Price appreciation is solely dependent on participation of holders. 90% of supply has been immediately available, 10% reserved to the company, or no VCs, no insiders, no bribes, no inflation. Yep, pretty flat coin there, Johnny. Congrats, though. It's very interesting. If you listen to Johnny, he talks about liquidity and how he makes this possible. Like, if you take a position, look, notice how it's on 9mm. So he's using V3 liquidity to maintain it in a relatively tight range, where it's like kind of almost $1 all the time. Harry Williams says, I'll be ordering my PLS card. Thanks, Coffee. Thank you, Harry Williams. Check that out. Again, that's in the YouTube tray below. You got to be on YouTube for that. KD says, Hex is king. What's up, Sandy Beach? And KD, the regulars. Nick Eddy says, can I bring up stacks? Also, I met Peter McCormick's replacement twice this last month, and he spoke shit about HEX in the second sentence he spoke. Man, that Peter McPormick guy, dude. He really just can't. I guess we live rent-free in his head still. That guy really doesn't like Richard. He's also kind of a drunk from what I hear. Oh, stacks, wow. Got no volume, but for some reason it just did a 10x. I don't know anything about this coin. There's no description. But, you know, for people in the trenches on PulseChain, there's always something going up, right? Congrats, stacks. Peter McCormick. What do you mean Peter McCormick's replacement? Is he being replaced on his channel? Marcus Ross. Like, is Peter McCormick? Is he getting kicked out? You must be in Europe. Hey, how about them 2 easy push-ups live? Yeah, I took a video of my push-ups, and then I was too scared to post it because the whole angle was just, the camera was just looking at my ass the whole time. So it was just like a selfie video of my ass going up and down. I'm like, there's no way I'm posting this to the internet. But yeah, I could do 55 push-ups. I don't, maybe I'll just do it again. It's not that hard. Old Zealand. Oh, that's Old Zealand. I remember that name. Chaotic Creation says, thanks, Coffee. No one lost any money to bitch about, so people don't know. Yeah, that's true. Keeping a low profile over there. Most wanted token is still highly traded. This is Richard Hart's Memecoin. Let's see how this is doing. I mean, it's wrecked just like everything else. Just like everything else. Not too much to like... Yeah, there's the one-off Memecoin, but... Let's go on over to what's happening in the news. PTGC up. Everybody's stoked on PTGC. I'm almost at 60,000 followers, guys. Thank you all for following. Look, Bitcoin is half off. Ethereum is half off. Altcoins are near all-time lows. 40% of them are. The others are probably, you know, very close to all-time lows. Maybe just like 20% up or something. Do not fall for imposters, of course. A lot of scammers coming back. I have a feeling these new testnet Provex coins are bringing the scammers back. And look, yeah, it is tiring that we all get so excited despite being so wrecked, but that does prove that there's real passion here, does it not? Like, people are still so pumped. I made a post that says, I like these coins. That's all it said. I like these coins, and it was a screenshot of HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. Got like 500 likes. Like, super high engagement. Like, the community is here, guys. People are very much still here, and I think other projects wish that they could have this community, this level of organic engagement. Even the hate, even the anger, it's still engagement. You know, people still do care. If they didn't care, they wouldn't even log in. I mean, look at Peter McCormick. Apparently, yeah, we very much live rent-free in his head. There's an interesting video from Richard Hart talking about back in 2019. He called Eric Wall his friend. So Eric Wall and Richard have this Twitter beef, this online kind of beef, but who knows? Who knows if it's a psyop or not? Maybe it's a little bit just for optics, guys. People lean into this stuff. You got to understand. People lean into the drama because it gets views. I mean, look, how many people know about PulseChain and Richard Hart because of Eric Wall? Probably a good chunk. Yeah, new liquidity changes in HEX, guys. Now there's maybe 10 to 20% of HEX is bonded to stable coins. It'd be interesting to see 50-50 or maybe more than that. But then, I mean, I still think if, you know, the reflexivity of having Pulse go up on the way to get HEX and PulseX, I still think that's a pretty good thing to do. But it is time. I mean, if you want to experiment, right? Trying new stuff couldn't hurt. Your friend Sami made, what, 5,000 videos? That couldn't pump the price. If YouTube videos pumped the price, Sami would have taken us to Valhalla by now. But we're glad he's here. God bless our friend Sami, who just reported on the ISM. He says the ISM manufacturing PMI is now 52, higher than expected. Also, the Chicago PMI was like 7 points higher than everybody expected. The Purchasing Manufacturers Index is a signal of when companies are buying stuff. Typically bullish. We've had this weird period in crypto where for 38 months in a row, the PMI was below 50. And typically when it's above 50, those are good times, bullish times. Assets go up. So it's really been a black swan in terms of the PMI being so low. A lot of it's probably just dealing with all the money printing during COVID. Like a lot of the whole federal macroeconomic layout, just recovering from that aftermath, right? The FTX explosion. And now you've got, governments trying to get their hands around crypto. And they move slow. They move at the speed of government, which is very, very slow. Just look at how, the Clarity Act is not even going to affect regular people that understand crypto. Like, you can still go buy ETH and hold it in your wallet. It doesn't matter at all. It's just big banks, bickering with their competition, trying to have a monopoly over where people put their money. But yeah, the Jane Street manipulation stopped. Bitcoin retraced the war dump in a single day. I'm too disheartened to call it a reversal. It would sure be nice. One of these days, it's got to be. Nick Eddy says, yeah, McCormick was replaced a year or two ago. See, I don't even follow the guy. Yeah, I found him to be unbearable. New host is Danny Knowles. Nice enough guy, but a maxi pad moron. Yeah, all these Bitcoin maxis, man. It's like, was the VCR the best thing that ever existed? No, the DVD player came. Was Netscape the best browser? No, Google came along. So like, when was the first of anything the end all be all? So I wish Bitcoin maxis could see, but they've already. So crypto works like this: you buy a coin, you join a tribe, you associate your identity with it sometimes, and then because of your financial and emotional and social identity being tied to this, you just can't get into something new. Now, luckily, they say there's only 400 million crypto holders. That number is probably lower because how many people are they counting that just have a, $20 on their Coinbase account? Are those really crypto holders? They might have just dabbled, but 8 billion people in the world, only, 5% of them are really in crypto? JD says, I'm here for the community. I'm here for the community too, sir. But I'm also here for the money and the freedom. I don't mind the freedom too. Marcus Ross says, I don't mind buying the stuff for cheap. When prices return to early 2025 prices, my bags will look very nice. Tam Tam, good to see you. Yeah, all they need to do is bounce back up like 4 or 5x back to 2024 prices, which would not take much money coming in. Funny if all the haters secretly become buyers because they're afraid of missing out. You know that's going to happen. HEX PulseChain, you know that's how it's going to go. They're going to hate so much, and then they're going to pretend that they were always part of they were always here. Oh, I always liked PulseChain. They'll start deleting their tweets. Hateful people, man. Don't let them bother you. The only thing trolls want is to bring you down to their level of misery. Misery loves company. There's a lot of people out there just telling themselves just insanely negative stories about how the world works, how the universe is conspiring against them. You just change the story of your life, change how you perceive things. It really does get better. So all this pain, it does suck, but it's very temporary. And also just taking action. It doesn't, like, any action at all will take your mind off of the doom scrolling, the bickering on social media, the stuff that does nothing for you. Refreshing the charts 19 times a day. That doesn't actually do anything. Unfortunately, like social media, people have the illusion that because of all these dopamine hits that they're doing something productive, but really they're just spiraling. Like mental health declining, attention span shortening. IQ points are literally dropping. Somebody plotted the IQ curve. So since maybe 2016, IQ points have actually been declining, which is kind of fucked up. And that happens to be the same year that Instagram Reels went live and launched, the concept of short form video content. Correlation doesn't imply causation. I'm sure there's a lot more reasons than short form content, but that might have been the beginning of the end for the idiocracy world that we're moving into. The haters will all be back. That's right, Hex Wizard. Monkey Business says new people are here in crypto. They don't have money. Veteran people don't even have money to buy these lows. It's true, man. Monkey Business is right. Times are tough, but everything's a cycle, guys. Like everything is cyclical. This period of time, I'm not going to call things the Great Depression, but the Great Depression only lasted 3 years or so for the worst part of it. But this has been the longest crypto bear we've ever had. Crypto's only existed for what? 15, 16 years, 17 years. Freedom for you for life says, I thought asteroids was the end of it all. That's the only thing that would be the end of it. It's like an asteroid, a magnetic pole reversal. Pretty freaky to think about. What else? Magnetic pole, asteroid. There could be some giant earthquake or something. And then we're cooked if that happens. Grandmaster Friend, I just came here to lash out. It's my fault because I didn't make enough videos. Yo, what's up, Grandmaster Friend? Good to see you, brother. Bruce Lee says, coffee's a positive, realist, and huge asset to the community. Goated. Thank you, Bruce Lee. You're the man, bro. Grandmaster Friend, that's actually pretty funny. Hex Pulsing Crypto says, the robots will wipe our asses when we get old. They probably will. That's the crazy thing. All these Optimus robots. Elon has a plan. Imagine you stick an LLM inside of there, and next thing you know, they're like they're your girlfriend, they're your waiter, they're your butler. They're over on Mars. They're harvesting like gold on Mars or something. Is there gold on Mars? Elon wants to send these Optimus robots to Mars. Like everything he's doing, he's kind of a trip. But yeah, guys, the Liberty Swap numbers, just to be conservative, right? If Liberty Swap generates only $3 million in fees, they generate like 50x buy pressure potential. And what they've been doing is they've been strategically buying the dips. Shout out to Liberty Swap. And also they got a privacy bridge. You know why the privacy bridge is cool? Because rich people, people that might like to pump their own bags, cough, cough, they want to bridge in without getting front run. So if they bridge in using the privacy bridge over here, check it out. See this little button where it says public private? You change that to private. And if you have Railway, you can go on your ZK wallet and you could send anonymously with no tracking. So for all we know, there's been whale wallets loading up privately this whole time. Could happen. My dentist told me to buy PulseChain nearly 2 years ago, and I found it too hard. Who's your dentist, Amanda? That's really interesting. I'm not tech savvy to understand and figure out how to buy it. I do have XRP, etc. bought on CoinSpot. Well, it is a little tricky, right? Like I said, it's a two-step process for PulseChain because it's not on major exchanges. But the whole point of crypto is you don't want to keep your money on the major exchanges. You want to withdraw it off. So I think CoinSpot, if I'm not mistaken, that sounds like a centralized exchange. If you get a crypto wallet like MetaMask, that's step one. And if you watch my little video, I got a 4-minute tutorial. Seriously, it's only 4 minutes long. Check out my pinned video in the YouTube. But you buy USDC, right? You buy it on whatever chain you want. Base chain is really low fees. So you can go to CoinSpot, buy USDC on Base, withdraw it into your wallet. Once it's in your own crypto wallet, remember, Internet Money, MetaMask, all these different wallets, then you can just go ahead and flip it right into PulseChain like over here. Right? You connect your wallet in the upper right-hand corner, and you click a few buttons, and you're going to have it. I know it's still not that easy, but look, it's getting better all the time. Wild SJ, good to see you. Checks my pulse hit flex. What's shaking, Hexikins? Hello. Yeah, guys. Any questions I will respond to. Looks like Frank White just made a new dashboard for the Provex statistics. So there's now a Provex stats, prove-x-stats.vercel.app. Pretty awesome. It shows you the TVL of the Provex, which is in beta, but the TVL right now is $1,000, $1,700. The weekly liquidity is $3,000. Weekly completed buys are $2,000. And there's been 145 successful transactions, it looks like. 9 active users. It's all on the beta, guys. Shout out to Frank White. Yo, Hosea Wilson over on Facebook. Thank you for the like. You know, Facebook is an untapped opportunity. I have a feeling there's a lot of people out there that don't know much about crypto on Facebook. So, be kind of cool to chill over there. That's why I'm streaming on Facebook. Amanda says, I have it all in my Trezor wallet. Gold Coast Dentist here in Aussie. Ah, Goldie. I love the Gold Coast. I've been to Australia. I spent like 4 months in Australia. Yeah, so if you got it in your Trezor wallet, that's pretty secure, pretty safe. You're off to a good start. So, you know, just buy some Ethereum. If you have Ethereum, right? You go over to Liberty Swap here, click on ETH, and then you can bridge your Ethereum right over. So let's say you wanted to bridge 2 ETH over to Pulse. You just do that right over here. 0.3% fee. Very low fee, guys. Are the accounts in Trezor batched or linked? Not exactly sure what you mean, but if you have a, let's say you take your crypto wallet like MetaMask or whatever, you can make as many fresh accounts as you want, and they can all be linked to the same Trezor. So one thing that people do is you can make new if you really want to separate different sets of seed words, you can make different Chrome profiles. But within your same wallet, you've got as many accounts as you want linked to the same set of seed words. So, hope that was the answer to that question. HEX Pulse into crypto. It was probably a disciple guy who went on a stream with Westcott Crypto, and I think he's a dentist. Shout out to Westcott Crypto, guys. This dude used to make music and songs in PulseChain, and he was a good guy. He was super hyped on PulseX and everything. But then he decided he would get more engagement talking about politics. Now he's got like 1 million followers. Like, it's kind of crazy. I want to look Westcott Crypto up real quick. I don't think he's called Westcott Crypto anymore. Westcott America. Shout out to you, Westcott America. Killing the social media game. I don't have the bandwidth for all the politics and all that. But man, yeah, he's getting a lot of engagement talking about politics. And guys, I mean, when the price comes back, I'm pretty sure he'll probably start talking about PulseChain too. I mean, he's got talent. You gotta respect the grind. All that politics stuff, man. I don't have the stomach for it. I just, man, it's all corrupt, you know. So people pick sides. I get it. Like the sentiment behind Trump, yeah, make America great again, sure. But if you don't have a hot take, people do not like nuance. You know, people are like, love Trump or hate Trump. They don't want to talk about the individual good and bad things he's done. Costa says, I like Sami. Me too, Costa. Give that guy a follow. Please repost my good morning post, my friends. Jaina Queen Crypto. This is that chick with 200K followers. Posted a thread about PulseChain. Second time talking about it. Look, Jaina Queen Crypto. She figured out the engagement hack. A lot of these guys, they're shocked when they talk about PulseChain and how much engagement they get. Like, it blows up their follower count just because they don't realize there were a bunch of actual real people. Cryptly says, thanks for the answer. Keep up the good work. No problem, Cryptly. Spent about 5 years trying to point that out about Facebook. LOL, but yeah, Zoomers. Yeah, Facebook, from what I've been hearing too, is Facebook's very monetizable. Oh my god. That helicopter sounded really close. They're after me. That was like, yeah, you guys aren't here, but it was a loud helicopter. People keep talking about this smog token. Look at this, another pumper on PulseChain. All these low liquidity pumpers, guys. I'm not in the cabal on this one. Fizzjaw cabal is more my thing. Check out Fizzjaw. Proud member of the Fizzjaw cabal. This coin did pretty good. And still only has 10K of liquidity. I even changed my profile picture. Let's see how many X's this one did. Date range. Sitting at about a 9X. At the peak, it was maybe 15, 16X. Hope some people won over on that one. Checks my pulse says they are buying. Who's buying? The feds and the helicopter outside? What's going on in the crypto news? Let's take a look. Ecosystem shows resilience as PulseChain tokens surge. That's what I like to see. That's my For You page. Gold drops below 5,100. Age verification laws, very stupid. Bitcoin hit $74,000. Yeah, just a lot of the same, guys. Clarity Act talk. I'm pretty tired of talking about the Clarity Act. I wish they would just pass it already. Just pass it so we can pump our bags, please. Trump said he's about to sign the crypto market structure bill. That's the Clarity Act. It's the same thing. Regulatory clarity could be moments away. Trump family is estimated to have 1.5 billion invested in Bitcoin and crypto. I don't know about that, but everybody's invested in crypto. Here's the thing. So many people are invested in crypto, even the government, even employees and everything. So because people are greedy, everybody has a vested interest to see crypto do well. There's very few people right now that are fighting against crypto. In the last regime, under Biden, you had Elizabeth Warren saying she was building an anti-crypto army. You had Gary Gensler suing people recklessly. He subpoenaed like 50 PulseChain YouTubers just for talking about PulseChain, claiming they were guilty. It was really, really corrupt. I mean, they were suing everybody because they missed the real big scammers. The Celsius, FTX, Terra Luna guy. They missed all that. People lost a ton of money and they just went on this wild goose chase. And it was really, really crappy. So I'm just happy I have more freedom to talk about what I want to talk about. I mean, that itself is a win. The waiting sucks, but at least the fear has been lifted. In my mind, at least. Is Provex token legit? Fish Cracker, I don't even know. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like, look, you didn't hear anything official from the developers or from Richard Hart. But if you go on the testnet, you do apparently you have credited Provex tokens, according to, and this was probably just testing the distribution, right? Making sure it works. I mean, they're testnet tokens, they have zero value. So the token's legit, but it doesn't exist on the mainnet yet. So don't let anybody tell you that it's like there's a real token. There's no claiming. There's a lot of scammers out there. Marine helicopter flying over Coffee's place. Maybe. Could be. I mean, Puerto Rico is a strategic outpost for the USA. Liberty or Death says, back during the HEX launch, Richard got me to move some of my BTC to Coinomi so I could get 10K HEX per BTC. I've left what I moved. That's good self-custody option. It's like Unisat or Leather Wallet. Yeah. Okay. Didn't know that. Liberty or death. Koinomi. I don't mess around with a lot of different wallets. I basically do internet money, MetaMask. I used to like Rabby, but they dropped the HEX. They dropped PulseChain network, which was really stupid. Terrible. It's only going to get better, guys. There's even another wallet. There's a Railway wallet competitor that's launching that is also interested in adding PulseChain as a network. It's pretty awesome. And it's actually in the App Store right now. I'm excited to talk about that wallet when it does come out. It's like an alternative to Railway. AI is coming out and just asking questions to your AI and good at just knowing what you want. I mean, you can do a lot as a single individual. High Altitude Investing says PulseChain is primed for a big move. I do agree. I mean, if you look at this wedge, guys, I can draw the wedge. Here, let me draw the wedge. It's been a long time coming. I mean, what if I told you the entire PulseChain history of the last 2.5 years has just been one contracting volatility oil? WPLS. Look at this. I mean, yeah, the price is in the gutter. But for people that understand and know what cycles are, they know what like wedges are. Look what it just broke out of. It just broke out. Look. I'll draw the other line just so. Look at that. Could it be? I'm normally not one for technical analysis, but when you've got a trend that's developed over multiple years, could it be, guys? Look at this. Look at that. You see what's happening? You see what I mean? This is a big, big wedge. PulseChains have been in a downtrend for a long time. Camera in the way. Let me move it over. Boom. Look at that. And if we zoom in on it, got this microscopic little baby pump. But it could be time. If the TA plays out exactly as it has every cycle, we should see one more big dump soon, about a month sideways, and from that we'll bottom. Anything can happen, as it always does, though. Good disclaimer, liberty or death. Citizen Rider says the turtles appreciate your stream. That's right. I'm here to save the turtles. Be free, little turtles. Hope you all make it to the ocean. Fish Cracker says, thanks, keep doing what you do. You're the most consistent OG. Appreciate you, Fish Cracker. Liberty or Death says, I think RH's cryptos are the greatest opportunity to make the most X's when we get another raging bull market. I agree with you. If ETH really gets moving, it's going to be very interesting and exciting for the Pulse ecosystem. I know. I deeply understand this. Like Ethereum at 10K. Imagine people start talking about the origin address. People go shopping for altcoins. I can't wait till some of you guys that have never experienced a bull market actually experience what it's like. Fast Abdul, I'm here for the tech. Yeah. Yeah, man. If by tech you mean the gains, then yeah, I'm here for the tech. You're still not going to find PulseChain, PulseX, or HEX rightfully on their place where they should be on page 1 of CoinMarketCap, so it's okay. Provex.com. Let's pull up the actual Provex website just to talk about what that is. Trust is dead. Long live Provex. The sacrifice phase has ended. We're building the software to kill the crypto exchange, the biggest middleman of all, using proofs. This is just the beginning. Provex can replace middlemen across every industry. Richard's all about timing, guys. This is what he's been building for probably the last 2 years, quietly. Like, you remember when he tweeted about ZK P2P? .xyz. This was think it was 2 summers ago. Meaning it was like pretty early into PulseChain's history, 2024. And he asked people, what do you think about this software? And everyone was like, yeah, it's okay, whatever. Nobody really cared, but the technology behind it was actually pretty groundbreaking, apparently. So I guess he decided that it was a good idea to branch off of this tech and create something that could literally change crypto. It could change how we do crypto. No more exchanges. I just sell you crypto. You buy it from me directly, peer-to-peer. I think, look, peer.xyz proved that this works. Watch. We can look at the volume on peer right now. Let's check out the liquidity. The total liquidity is $150,000. Most of that looks like it is in, a lot of it's in Argentina, Mercado Pago. That's surprising. Oh, wait, no, that's not Argentina. What is that? Chime? What's the big one? Ah, Revolut. I was wrong. Revolut and Venmo are some of the biggest. But look, if this thing with no token can have a pretty substantial ecosystem around it, imagine with a token and with a community. You put a token on there, you put all the PulseChain hexagon, crazy people on here. Optimal Timeline says maybe there's a plan after all. It's almost like there's been a plan this whole time. Like the plan's really simple. It's like, yeah, market your bags when there's positive sentiment. No point in pumping if people are going to dump it right back down. People don't realize, like 3 months ago, the origin address bought $2 million of PulseX. It got dumped right back down in 1 or 2 days. So testing the waters, but if I was the guy doing that, and I just chucked 2 million in and it got dumped right back down, I would say, what's the point of putting in any more right now? You had a Pump token or Jupiter token. A lot of different coins, even Sonic. They did massive buybacks with hundreds of millions of dollars, and that couldn't even save their price of their token. Those coins are all still down. I mean, Sonic is maybe more wrecked than PulseChain. Even Pump.Fun token retraced its entire pump from the buybacks in a month, 31 days. Liberty or Death says, I hope everyone in the community who stuck around has been aggressively buying. It's been time, and it is time. We are most likely in the last weeks and months, even if World War III prolongs it. Yeah. I hate all that World War III talk, but look, the wars are going to keep happening as long as governments exist. Holder growth. Look, HEX holders are actually going down. First time ever they've been going down. Negative 63 wallets added today. People have given up. People have capitulated on HEX. Even PulseX has negative 15 wallets today. But 300 wallets in the last month. That's a very low number, 300. INC token has been losing holders. PulseChain social dominance is 0.46%. I'm not actually sure how they calculate this. PulseChain creators 1,000. According to PulseChainStats.com, there's over 1,000 people that are PulseChain content creators. I don't know if anybody else has that many, other than obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum. Oh, look. Here's a comparison graph. Nice. They answered my question. They read my mind. I'm going to refresh this page here. So it looks like, yeah, obviously Ethereum has the most. But compared to everything that's not Ethereum, I guess Cardano has more. That makes sense. A lot of people talk about Cardano. It's been out for longer. We got more than Tron. See, I don't know if that's true, though, because are they just not counting the Asian markets? This one stat, it's like, what qualifies as a content creator? Checks my pulse as I bought somebody's bag today. Yeah. I'd like to know more about PulseChain stats, how they actually measure the social creators comparisons. 34 million social interactions on social media today for PulseChain. 3,000 posts. That doesn't look like a dead ecosystem to me, guys. Looks alive and well. This isn't even the lowest we've had. September of 2023, we had a lot less. So the prices are at an all-time low, but the social engagement is at, let's see, about a 5x from where it used to be. Back when we had that was the SEC dump, wasn't it? Yeah, August, July of 2023. Those were dark times. Man, this website is great. They have a portfolio tracker, PulseChainStats.com, tutorial videos. If you guys want to get started, I think right now this is my favorite kind of one-stop shop onboarding website, PulseChainStats.com. Obviously, just also go to PulseChain.com. But look, you can add the coins to your wallet. You can buy. We've got our own on-ramp at Coast. Viteus is a multi-dex aggregator. The official bridge. Links to PulseX. New articles. Oh, that's nice. They got little articles for SEO. Why founder token concentration isn't bad. I mean, it's not. Look at what happened to Bitcoin. 90% of the coins and 2% of the wallets. Massive centralized ownership in Ethereum and Binance. And these coins all did very well. People just get mad because when the price is down, it's like the monkey brain comes out. They're like jealous because one person has more coins than they do. But usually, this is not true for VCs who just can't wait to dump. But usually the larger of a holder you are, the longer you can afford to wait. You have a lower time preference. So, very true with CZ. His coin did great. BNB token. Quintrons, what's good, coffee crew? Hey, how you doing? It's been very exciting to see Richard Hart go from HEX, true DeFi, true crypto, to true privacy, anonymity, freedom, and liberty for the individual. It's been worth the pain. God bless Richard. Yes, hope he's doing well out there. I assume he is. I assume he's just waking up, working, and going to bed. Gandalf says, I tell people about PulseChain, they laugh. Then I tell them the gains that I've made and are making, and they're speechless. Nice, man. Gandalf, yeah, I mean, if you're in the trenches out there, you can be highly effective on PulseChain. I wish, like, some of these Solana guys, I'm kind of glad they're not here, though. Because maybe they would just extract. And a lot of people on Pump.Tires, they keep it in the ecosystem. That's not always true, but it's more true than the extraction on, let's say, Pump.Fun. Here, this is Pump.Tires. If you want to make a meme coin, everyone's pretty much done it at this point. Peacock, Most, Stacks. Oh, look, Stacks. There it is again. Cryptomatic made one, I guess. DJ Cryptomatic creator token. That's cool. Lambo. Yeah, there's a bunch of coins on here, guys. Let's see if anybody made something funny. New creates. Provex, Pump, Golic, Bomb, Future Network. These are probably all nothing. These aren't even funny. Hey, Megan Fox. Wish I could buy that. You know what I mean. I tell people about PulseChain, they laugh. Oh, I already read your comment. PulseChain's bubble maps are now live. Let's take a look. Where's the link? Bubble maps, bubble maps. Here they are. Ah, look at these lovely little bubbles. HEX up 9%. The color is nice and green today. A lot of other stuff is down, by the way. So that's cool. Time multiplies all. Dr. B, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, man, we're already at an hour 20. Guys, I'm going to get going. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you want to support the channel, fuck super chats, guys. Boom. Just buy one of these, and the money doesn't get taken by YouTube, And you get something out of it too. You actually get something cool. Limited edition, first edition, PulseChain laser engraved metal seedword storage card. You etch your seed words onto metal, waterproof, fireproof, comes with engraving pen, and comes with little stencils, alphanumeric stencils. If you want to support the channel, make sure you get one of those. Don't give YouTube all your hard-earned money. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the next one.